What's up guys? Today we're talking about Baby Audio's tape because right now it's about 90% off. You can grab it for $9 from Plug-in Boutique. They usually sell it for about $100, so I thought we'd give it a look. But this isn't just going to be a should you buy it video. We're actually going to demo tape on real music so you can decide for yourself. And I think we're going to have fun in the process as well. The reason I picked this up in the first place is because I think Baby Audio tends to make good plugins. And I wanted to see what can it do for your sound, is it worth adding to the toolkit? Off the bat, this video is not sponsored. There's no big brother, no cloak and dagger. Everything you hear is my honest take.
Like, do you think he's telling the truth, or do you think he's like has a concussion right now?
He's telling the truth because he's too stupid to lie.
Coming up, I'm going to show you exactly what tape can do with 2 real-world tests. First, I stem separated Every Time You Say Goodbye by Alison Krauss. And if you don't know Alison Krauss, well, she's one of the best country and bluegrass singers of all time. And even if you don't like those genres, you're saying, why is this guy going to play that crap? I bet you're going to like this. I isolated her solo vocal, and I'm going to show you how tape adds warmth, a subtle glow, and gentle tape-like compression. And we do all this without trashing the vocal clarity. Then we're going to switch gears completely, and we're going to put tape on the master of Apocalypse by Cigarettes After Shrek. Because the YouTube algorithm does not like naughty words, that's what we're going to call it for now, because I've got to stay in my lane or swamp.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Anyways, we're gonna see how tape glues the mix, how it saturates, and how far you can push it before things get crazy. This is gonna be awesome. You're gonna hear some wild differences. And hey, if you're new here, this channel is still a new venture and a passion project. So if you're watching at this stage, you're basically here at the ground floor. Thank you. And if you vibe with this content, feel free to drop me a comment or subscribe. It genuinely helps me build this into something bigger. So before we dive in, let's talk real tape. Tape warmth gets thrown around by people who have unfortunately never heard tape outside of a plugin. But tape isn't really just distortion. Real tape is softened transients, natural compression, gentle high-end smoothing, wow, flutter, and a little level-dependent character. When you hit tape lightly, you get that rounded, expensive mid-range. Think Steely Dan's Asia, and I've always had a hard time pronouncing that properly. But that album is a good example. I have to provide a little commentary here so this video doesn't get demonetized. It's copyrighted material, but basically, Roger Nichols is turning a screwdriver on a 2-inch tape machine in real time, making Steve Gadd's drums swoosh up like a jet engine. Pretty cool, right? Now, when you push tape hard, it really breaks up with personality, like the vocals and guitar on the Beatles' Revolver. That's a great example of tape giving you harmonic edge, grit, and attitude. And we're actually going to do something like that with Alison Krauss's vocals here in a second. And the results are going to be interesting. But to summarize, when I am looking at tape, the plugin, I'm actually comparing it to the real thing, not just the buzzword warmth. So what is tape, the plugin? Now we know that most plugins model tape with DSP. And DSP is just the math that makes digital audio behave like analog gear, but it's really just the best guess. It's not perfect. It's basically numbers running through algorithms. What tape does is it uses a neural network that was trained on dry audio versus tape processed audio, so it learned the compression curves, harmonics, and transient rounding through pattern recognition. At this point, maybe the whole AI thing is a little played out, but we're gonna listen to it today and decide for ourselves. Demo number 1. Let's start with soloing the track for a second. Now let's solo Alison Krauss's vocal before we add tape.
Look at the sky, baby, see how it cries. Ain't it just like my tears?
Now here's the vocal with our tape effects.
Look at the sky, baby, see how it cries. Look at the sky, baby, see how it cries. Falling down like rain on the ground. every time you say goodbye.
You hear that? The subtle analog style saturation that brings a vocal to life. Now in real life, we would never do this to her vocal because it's ethereal, heaven-bound, kind of a modern iteration of the high lonesome sound, and it's honestly blasphemous to do this to her voice. But for demonstrations purposes, we are doing it anyways.
Continue with the operation. You may fire when ready.
What?
Now I'm going to show you what you can do to create a kind of flange effect. Check this out.
There's a restless feeling knocking at my door today.
Mix down and wear up.
There's a restless feeling knocking at my door today.
Very cool.
There's a shadow hanging round my garden gate.
Oh, and one more thing, we're going to keep track of the pros and cons so you can decide if you actually like this plugin. Bowling pins are going to represent the pros and grenades are going to represent the cons. Pins get knocked down on the wins and grenades blow up on the problems. Like this. Pro number 1, the glue. It behaves really well. It adds cohesion without crushing the transients.
Love has gone away and put these tears in my eyes.
Con number 1, you can't double click to type in a value. This is a no-brainer. You can double click to reset it to 0, but I can't type in 22 or 28. Because tape is so reactive, tiny movements have a big impact. That's just ridiculous, and that should have been thought of beforehand. And while we're at it, let's throw another con out there. Number 2 is the noise. The tape noise just sounds terrible to me. It sounds plasticky and synthetic, and I just turned it off completely. I don't ever want to use it or hear it. But frankly, unless you're going for like a hokey kind of old-timey sound, you're never going to use it anyways. I don't know of a single professional mixing engineer or producer who uses a large amount of that, unless you're doing maybe lo-fi, but that's its own thing. Now let's bring another pro back in here. High shape. Tape usually kills a bit of your top end, but high shape lets you add that air back in after saturation. And the presence knob plays a kind of ancillary role in that. So if you lose that high end, bring it back in.
Love has gone away and put these tears in my eyes. There's a restless feeling knocking at my door today.
So we're sitting at 2 wins and 2 losses. Let's go on to the next demo. Here's the dry demo of Apocalypse by Cigarettes After Shrek. Now when you add tape gently on the master, you get a nice harmonic lift.
Got the music in you, baby, tell me why. Got the music in you, baby, tell me why. Got the music in you, baby, tell me why. Got the music in you, baby, tell me why. Got the music in you, baby, tell me why. Got the music in you, baby, tell me why. You've been wanting me forever and you just can't say.
Nice.
Let's check our scorecard. And here's our next pro, drop the bowling pin. It sounds genuinely good on masters as long as you keep the settings under control. It warms the mids. I particularly like the glue. It's a little bit of compression there, and it doesn't collapse the atmosphere as some tape does on a master. You can continue to mess around with this. There are so many presets in here. You can throw it on different types of channel strips such as drums, vocals, whatever you got. But overall, I ended up with 3 solid pros and 2 solid cons for this plugin. To summarize, tape is for you if you want analog style warmth, subtle to medium glue, musical saturation, and tape-like behavior without the DSP headaches. But it's not for you if you want ultra clean modern mastering, you don't like AI controlled movement, you need super precise controls, and you just prefer the traditional DSP models. So here's my final verdict. TAIP is a really musical, expressive plugin. It adds vibe, movement, and character without overwhelming your mix. And right now, it's $9 on Plugin Boutique until December 8th. Literally 90% off. At that price, it's a no-brainer, even if you already own a bunch of TAIP plugins like I do. If it were $50 or $60, yeah, different conversation. But $9? Grab it. And as you guys know, I don't solicit any contributions or donations to this channel, but it is an affiliate link. But unlike those buy me a coffee things, with it being $9, I'll maybe get like 2 or 3 coffee beans if you make an affiliate purchase. So, you know, buy 30 of them and then I'll be able to get half an espresso shot. Anyways, hit subscribe if you got any value out of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again next time.